student at Belfast is attempting to get Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck banned from the English literature course on the grounds that it is racially offensive, very offensive to her, very offensive to white students, black students. It's just offensive in general because of certain words that were used back then in the 1930s that are not used today. So my opinion on this is very clear. Now, as someone who studied Of Mice and Men at GCSE level, I can tell you now that this story is far more about friendship and sacrifice. Rather than focusing on race, it was more focused on the mental disabilities of one of the main characters, who meets a very untimely and tragic end. It's an incredible tale of sacrifice. It is one of John Steinbeck's best works. And the fact that he has set it, obviously, in 1930s United States, when you did have racial segregation, you did have these issues. It's incredible that certain people today can actually apply what was written back then to themselves today. I personally think it must take a specific type of arrogance to think that great works of literature is personally somehow impacting you. To me, that's incredibly arrogant. It's quite astonishing. You know, she goes on to say that she feels weak when hearing certain words from the book. Well, how about taking yourself out of the equation and recognizing not everything is about you, and it's actually about appreciating and acknowledging a piece of literature that happened to be written in a different time and learning from that literature. So trying to ban it, trying to eradicate it, this is all fundamental to the woke movement, isn't it? It's the kind of thing we're seeing all the time now in terms of literature, TV shows, films, stuff that they personally find offensive. I mean, the excuses given are, quite frankly, to me, totally ridiculous. I mean, she says, it's a very violent book to begin with, but it's mostly just to do with racism and how that affects me and some other black students in my class. This is what the woke are, though, isn't it? It's all me, me, me. All the literature is about them. All the films are about them. Concepts are about them. Maybe, just maybe, Of Mice and Men isn't about her. Maybe it's not about black students in her class. Maybe it was just a very talented author who decided to write a story set in the 1930s about two men in a time when, of course, racism was very prominent in the United States, and these two men and what they have to go through, one of them having a very serious mental disability and the friend who has to make an incredibly tough decision, hence the theme of sacrifice in the story. As I said, it is the height of arrogance to think that you are somehow connected to this piece of work to the degree where you are trying to get it removed completely. Now, if anything is evidence that this government needs to step in and do something about the education in this country, I think this is it, because this is ludicrous beyond belief. When I studied Mice and Men at GCSE level, I took away from it was themes of friendship, sacrifice and honour. That is what I took away from it. And highlighting, yes, racial injustices and things that were going on. Trying to ban these books is ridiculous. You know, as I said, did it at GCSE level, in a very multicultural city, in a multicultural school. Back then, there was no one saying it should be banned. This is modern, woke nonsense, and it needs to come to an end.